Boys, this is about trying to prepare you for marriage, a wife, what to think about women, from your dad, who dated roughly 50 women before I met your mom. And your mom's a keeper, and there's a ton of things that I've learned through the process. And one of the things that I learned early is that women are looking for our love. Men, whether you know it or not, and the best thing I'd like to tell you is that your body subconsciously has a very high sex drive, and the world doesn't help with marketing and the way women are portrayed in movies and things like that. Everything is a sexualized object. So we're kind of built and programmed a little bit by society to just look at them as sexual objects. And it's just you can teeter on that razor's edge and easily quickly go over into all therefore is sex, and it's not fulfilling. And as a teen, I grew up in that I wasn't in a very strong Christian household that had much guidance and very little guidance as far as women. And what I'd like to say to you guys is that God designed us to be counterparts, to be the yin and the yang, the co-equals together. But there are some distinct differences, and you're going to be in a battle. You're going to face challenges because you're going to feel it should be some way. The world's going to program it should be some way. And it's not until you are educated and have wisdom and learn from God the truths about the male-female dynamic as it applies to marriage. That's where the real dynamic happens. The way to get married is to really become friends with somebody and get to know them. And if you're attracted, great. And most of the time, the marriage thing is about attractiveness. Men will try to usually go for the most attractive female that they can get based on their attractiveness. But females don't always consider that. That's a factor, but they really look at the full person and your heart if you're kind. So looks aren't as a big deal to them. So if you're we guys can hit the gym and try to look like buff men, and they appreciate that. That's great. It doesn't turn them on a ton like it does for us to see an attractive female. But they're going to look at the total package. Your heart, your intelligence, your kindness, your willingness to be a godly man and lead. That's going to turn them on. You're willing to sacrifice. That's the biggest thing that they probably subconsciously look for. Is he giving of himself towards me? Does he let me have first dibs in our agenda of life? So that's kind of how it works. They open up and they respond. Women are the responders in basically everything in life. You approach them, you initiate them to go out, you ask them out, and then if you're kind, like if you're continually kind to them, they will love on you back. They will feel adored. And then they can't help, that turns them on. They can't help it, and they want to be with you. The caution is anything sexual. Like they'll get sexually turned on when you're nice. And so there's a fine line. Like you can't be a pushover nice. You got to stand up and kind of lead the way sacrificially nice-wise. And that'll turn them on. And then you need to respect boundaries and know that you shouldn't take advantage of them. You shouldn't have just for sex. And hopefully I'm speaking to you and you get this, that yeah, we're going to want a sex drive. The problem is when you go in and you're nice, they're happy and they feel loved and turned on, sparks fly and people can get in trouble quickly romantically and physically with sex before marriage when it's a solid, good relationship. So you gotta have that boundary to wait. And a lot of times women, they fall in love. They can fall in love quickly when a man is very nice. And a man can be very nice because he just wants sex. So he just wants what he wants, and he can be nice. They can play the game. So you hear women sometimes say, I've fallen out of love, because once men get the prize or the sex, they tend to not try as hard. That's just the nature of it. They go on to the next challenge. And then you see women upset with their man and leaving because they think it's going to be that way forever. And there's a general consensus that men are hoping that women find them attractive, that they find their man irresistible, and then they can't help but keep their hands off of them physically, and they come onto them. And that's kind of a guy's dream, that he's a hunk, he's a stud, so much so that he barely has to do anything to get the girl to come after them. It's not usually how it works. If it is, then the woman's probably trying to give sex to get love. There's some missing thing in there they're grasping at. There's a hole in their heart, maybe daddy issues or something. So traditionally women are very reserved, the passive one, and they open up when they feel loved and adored. And it's continual, like they need to feel loved and adored all marriage. It's not just getting them to say yes to marriage, all life. They need to feel loved and adored. So you hear the sayings, you can't stop dating your wife, you can't stop pursuing your wife. It's true. That's how they want to feel, that they're worthwhile of a pursuit, that they're special. And we want to feel that we're special and adored, but I'm going to hate to break it to you. You can't go looking for that from a girl. It's just not how it is. It'd be great if you hear things 50-50 or both people give 100%. It's just not how it is. We as the men, we are the leaders. We're the ones that are called to lead the family from God. We're the ones that are called to have the upward connection with God. So therefore we're solid, and then we can give the lifeblood of the living God comes through us to our wife, to our family. And you got to kind of be okay with not looking to your wife, not looking to any other outside source for that love. You are the one that brings it into the family. And it's tough. Everybody, we all want to feel loved and cared for and adored and made to feel special by somebody in our physical life that's kind of very tangible. It's just not how God designed it. He wants us to be the leaders, to take the step, to go reach to Him, to be concrete in our setting and firm, and then from us, through us, the conduit, the family flourishes, and they will love you. They will love you then, but at that point you're not depending on their love. You're solid in your own walk with God. That's how it's designed. So I don't want you to have any misconceptions, because it is nice to feel loved. When you're dating, be a nice guy, be friends, be kind, don't burn bridges, get to know a ton of girls, figure out what your life is going to be about. What are the key things you want to do and pursue? Then you know what you want to match up with. Are they willing to come alongside of you? They're going to want you to have a plan. And that may change slightly. They're going to want to build a house and have kids and nest, and that's going to be the thing. They're going to want to see, do you have a plan? Are you walking with God? Are you willing to provide monetarily, sacrifice your wants so they can do what they want and feel loved? Yeah, it's sort of unfair, but that's what it is. They are turned on and just feel cared for when you're sacrificial, and when you're in it with God, you kind of feel like you're a man. You're in a big picture plan, and you're a cog in the wheel. That's part of the grand scheme. That's helpful, and you kind of have an identity. And that's what we all long for as men. So, that's my talk on marriage, guys. There you go.